Bless the Lord, O my soul, bless Him.
Hi, it's another video on daily inspiration. I'm Benjamin, and thanks for taking the time from your busy day to watch our videos here on this channel, and we hope that you'll learn something by the end of the video. Now buckle up and let's get on with the video, and for this one, we're going to share with you some very interesting facts about the Catholic Church you probably didn't know. Number 1. Vatican City has the highest crime rate in the world. With a population around 500 people and a little over 1 crime per day, the Vatican crime rate is above 100% per capita. Although the fact is shocking, it should be remembered that the Vatican is about 1 square mile in size and has nearly 20 million visitors annually. Most of the crimes are pickpockets, purse snatching, and other petty offenses done by outsiders. Number 2. The Catholic Church is the only Christian church in existence for the first 1,000 years of Christian history. Most non-Catholic churches which exist today are less than a century or two old by comparison. For almost 1,000 years, Catholicism was Christianity. But over time, schisms have disrupted the unity, including a schism in 144 with Marcionism, a schism in 318 with Arianism, a divide in 1054 with the East-West Schism, and yet another divide in 1517 during the Protestant Reformation. Number 3. Did you know that the Catholic Church consists of more than just the Roman Catholic Church? There are 22 Eastern rites that are in full communion with Rome, and although they go by different names, they're every bit as much a part of the Catholic Church. Number 4. The Catholic Church is entirely responsible for the composition of the Bible, which books are included, as well as the breakup of the chapters and verses. Protestants have removed some books of the Bible because some of the verses were inconsistent with their theology. Martin Luther was a prime offender in this regard, removing Tobit, Judith, 1 and 2 Maccabees, Wisdom, Sirach, and Baruch. He also made an effort to remove James and Revelations, but this was rejected by his followers and those 2 books were kept. Catholics are often accused of adding the books, but despite this common belief, it is false. Number 5. How many saints are recognized by the Catholic Church? There does not seem to be an official number, but it exceeds 10,000. Of course, any person who enters heaven is a saint by definition. So it is certain the number of actual saints in existence is much greater than the number recognized by the Church. Number 6. Any Catholic may perform an emergency baptism, such as if a person is in grave danger of death. In such a case, the validity of the baptism only depends upon the wishes of the person being baptized, that they desire the baptism. There are specific guidelines for such practices that Catholics should follow. Anyone wishing to be prepared for such a case should refer to the Catechism for a deeper understanding of this allowance. Generally, such practices ought to be left to trained clergy. Number 7. The Pope is protected by the Swiss Papal Guard, wearing uniforms designed by Michelangelo and commonly armed with halberds. They are capable of using heavier weapons if needed. Each member is Catholic, male, and Swiss, and must complete military training in Switzerland. They must demonstrate good conduct and be at least 5'8" in height. Those who are chosen are granted a private audience with the Pope along with their families. In extreme circumstances, they are expected to guard the Holy Father with their lives. The Swiss Papal Guard is the oldest active military unit in continual existence since 1506. Number 8. The word Catholic was first used by Ignatius of Antioch around the year 110. It is from the Greek word katholikos, which means toward the whole. Ignatius was suggesting that the Church is a gift offered by Jesus to all people. 9. There are more than 1 billion Catholics in the world in all 5 continents. They are particularly concentrated in Southern Europe, the United States, the Philippines, and the countries of Central and South America. What binds them together is a belief in Jesus and obedience to the papacy. 10. The first black person to be documented as a saint in the Roman Catholic Church was known as Saint Maurice, also known as Saint Mauritius. He was a 3rd century Roman soldier born in Egypt who was martyred when he refused to massacre Christians for the Roman Empire. 11. The tradition of honoring saints actually came from the Jews, who had a long-standing tradition of honoring prophets and holy people with shrines. 12. A common Catholic symbol is the Sacred Heart, which is a heart shown pierced with a cross and crown of thorns that recall Jesus' sacrifice. Devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus first began in the late 17th century. 13. The incense used in the Catholic Church symbolizes prayers rising to heaven. It is also used to bless and purify. 14. The Rosary is a primary signature of Catholic devotion. The word rosary means garland of roses. The rose is one of the flowers used to symbolize the Virgin Mary, and the prayer of the Rosary is very closely associated with her. 15. Though he never officially took the title during his lifetime, St. Peter, whose original name was Simon, was the first head of the Catholic Church or the first pope. One of Jesus' 12 apostles, Peter preached throughout Asia Minor before going to Rome, where Emperor Nero crucified him, upside down. 16. In 313, Emperor Constantine announced the toleration of Christianity in the Edict of Milan. He did not create the Catholic Church as is sometimes believed. 17. Vatican Council II was the 21st General or Ecumenical Council of the Catholic Church, and is considered by many as the most significant religious events since the 16th century Reformation. Unlike previous councils which had been called to combat heresy or deal with some threat to the Church, this council's aim was to promote peace and unity. 18. A few months after Pope Formosus died, his cadaver was exhumed, dressed in papal vestments, put on trial for political disagreements, and judged to be unworthy of the papacy. His papal edicts were deemed invalid. The fingers he used to perform sacraments were cut off, and his body was tossed into the Tiber River. 19. Catholics rely more on ritual and ceremony than do most other Christian religions. The intent of the rituals is to create an experience in which faith is felt and religion literally comes to life, with God's presence in the here and now world. And finally, while the cross is a predominant Catholic symbol, it actually greatly predates Christianity and is, in fact, one of the most ancient human symbols. It may be seen as the union of divinity and the world. Well then, that's all for this video. We really do hope you like it, and please do leave any feedback if you have any so we can continue to improve how we share these things. Again, thanks so much for taking the time to watch, and God bless you.